What's going on, guys? I'm Jada Black. Shout out to everyone that's tuning in. I want to talk about NFL player Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon had been first. His name had been put out there due to a shooting incident that happened at his home. Well, apparently he wasn't the one who was the perpetrator. It was his sister, Shalonda, who was being named as the person who struck a 16-year-old and actually fired a weapon 11 times in the direction of some teenagers that were playing near his home. Now, apparently, she was in the car with another guy who I'm assuming is her boyfriend. And I don't know what's going to happen. No charges have been filed, but there was a 16-year-old that was struck in the foot. Now, I want y'all to understand something. When Joe Mixon's name was first put out here, you had all these websites, these publications putting his name out there. But once they realized it wasn't him, it was his sister, I noticed it got kind of quiet out here. It got kind of quiet. You know, Joe Mixon has had his fair share of issues, not a lot, but, you know, he had this issue in college, but, you know, he's gotten to the NFL and he's focused on his career. You haven't heard anything negative about Joe Mixon, right? But this situation with his sister is very telling. Now, I don't know if his sister lives at his home, but if she does, he needs to kick her out, because this particular woman is being named as the person who fired the weapon 11 times at teenagers and struck one in the foot. If it was Joe Mixon who had done this, he would have been arrested. But I noticed she hasn't been arrested, even though I believe they were stopped by police. They were stopped by police, and there was still no arrest made. I don't know why it's so difficult for them to arrest women for their negative behavior. This woman struck a 16-year-old with a weapon just because they were playing near Joe Mixon's home. That's not the way you do things. That's not. They were playing. They were doing what they were called Nerf wars with the Nerf guns, right? But understand that, right? You warn people not to come to your, if that's the case, you warn people not to come to your property, you know, but you don't go and get a real weapon and fire it at teenagers. You just don't do things like that. But apparently nothing is going to come of this, because this story's been out for a couple of days and we know most of the details, but nothing has happened. Nothing has happened. So they're not going to hold this woman accountable. We're going to get into this particular story. Nonetheless, we're going to take a look at this Yahoo article. It says the sister of Cincinnati Bengals star Joe Mixon has been named as the suspect in the shooting that took place at his home. Shalonda Mixon, who's 34, was present at the running back's Ohio property when the incident occurred. According to TMZ Sports, Hamilton County Sheriff's Office stated that several juveniles were playing a game called Dart Wars with toy Nerf-style weapons. Documents state around 8:25 p.m., police responded to a call at the residence about a juvenile being struck. Two of the teens playing that game told authorities that one of the other players ran alongside the house, and shortly after he came under fire. The outlet states that the unknown shooters aimed at the 16-year-old from the backyard, and documents revealed a total of 11 rounds. Look at this. 11 rounds were fired. They also said that a bullet struck the teenager in the foot as he attempted to run away. The teen was taken to the hospital as police began to survey the area. The Daily Mail reported they left the 26-year-old's home at around 3:20 a.m. without making any arrests. Upon further investigations, authorities documented that a black Honda Accord was spotted leaving the property shortly after the shooting. So they ran. So she got in her car and ran. Shalonda and a man named were said to be in the vehicle. The HCSO told the Daily Mail that no arrests and charges have been filed as of Thursday. We understand that there is very specific interest in this story due to the nature of the home being connected to Bengals player Joe Mixon. They said. The spokesperson continued, we cannot confirm additional details outside of what is outlined in the incident report. Our investigative team continues to review the evidence and conduct interviews. The Bengals player has not released a statement regarding the incident at his home because he doesn't feel he has to. Because one, he didn't do it, and two, the police aren't going to do anything. The running back has had his own issues with the law as of recent. One day after the Bengals lost in the Super Bowl, a warrant was issued for his arrest, claiming that he pointed a weapon at a woman in downtown Cincinnati. The Daily Mail states he allegedly told the woman that she should be popped in the face and added, I should shoot you now. The police can't get me. The outlet reports that the charge against Mixon has since been dismissed at the request of the Hamilton County Prosecutor's Office. So the prosecutors are dropping these charges, and they're not going to do anything seemingly to Joe Mixon's sister for being the main suspect in this particular situation. So you see how that works in Ohio? You know, when you're an athlete, you could just do whatever. They're not going to really pursue it, is what it looks like to me. This woman fired, now she's the suspect, so I can't name anybody else. But hold on, let's go to another article where it starts to name some names. This according to Blavity. The sister of Cincinnati Bengals star Joe Mixon has been named as a suspect in the shooting incident that took place at his home. Shalonda Mixon, 34, was present at the running back's Ohio property when the incident occurred. According to TMZ Sports, the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office stated that several juveniles were playing a game called Dart Wars with toy Nerf-style weapons. Documents state that around 8:25 p.m., police responded to a call at the residence about a juvenile being struck. Two of the teens playing the game told authorities that one of the other players ran alongside the house shortly after he came under fire. The outlet states that the unknown shooters aimed at the 16-year-old from Joe's balcony, and documents revealed that a total of 11 rounds were fired. They also said a bullet struck the teen in the foot as he attempted to run away. The teen was taken to the hospital, and police began to survey the area. The Daily Mail reported they left the 26-year-old's home at around 3:20 a.m. without making any arrests. Now, they actually named names of the people that were in that car. This is according to TMZ. 34-year-old Shalonda Mixon and a 34-year-old man named Lamonte Brewer were the occupants of the vehicle. Both were ID'd as suspects in the particular shooting incident. Cops say the boy, meanwhile, was transported to the hospital where medical personnel discovered he had a bullet still lodged in his foot. No arrests have been made and no charges have been filed. You see how that works? You know, you can shoot somebody and then nothing happens as long as you are connected to a professional athlete. So this woman was at her brother's house with seemingly her boyfriend. Lamonte is her boyfriend, probably. And she does this, and there's going to be no consequences for her actions. This is not how you deal with people being on your property. If you're in the backyard or the back balcony, if somebody's playing alongside your house, you tell them to move. You don't go grab a weapon and start firing it. But see, this is what happens when you think you are above the law. She thinks she's above the law, and in some cases, Joe Mixon may believe he's above the law. But you're going to run into incidences, and you're not going to be able to get yourself out of it. You know, she may end up lucking out and not getting any charges, but the family may still end up suing him because you're his sister. You did this on his property. All right. I just think that, to me, this just shows you what happens in our society. I guess when you know people, you're not held accountable for your actions. I'm not saying that this young 16-year-old should have been running near Joe Mixon's property, but there are ways of dealing with that. You don't go grab a weapon and start firing it 11 times, because that young boy could have lost his life. And what I think she was aiming at, she probably was aiming at the ground, is what I'm assuming. Not necessarily at him, but aiming at his feet. Probably was laughing about it, thought it was funny. But we'll see how funny it is if this gets more attention or if they do proceed to bring charges. I don't know. It doesn't seem like they don't want. It seems like they want to keep Joe Mixon out of trouble. That's what it seems like the state of Ohio wants to do. That's, so let me know in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Like this video and share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll see y'all next one.